Your name is Pete. You're calling from 339. I recognize that as the area code from the island on Lost. Is that where you're calling from, Pete?
Not quite.
Okay, where are you calling
Syracuse,
from?
New York.
Syracuse?
New York.
How many feet of snow are in Syracuse right now?
Far too many. 3, 4.
Are you a student, or why on earth are you in Syracuse?
Yes. Well, I was a student, but right now, me and my team are on a leave of absence. I would be a senior, but we're working from the Syracuse Technology Garden now.
Oh, excellent. So you've quit school. Your parents must be very proud. Now you're on Shark Tank. You've got the incredible entrepreneur Phil Kaplan here. He doesn't like to waste time. You know the rules. There's no pressure except for the tens of thousands of people who are going to judge you by your performance in under 60 seconds, starting in 3, 2, go.
Well, whether you like it or not, Google is now your first impression. Whether you're a job applicant, an author, a real estate agent, or a business owner, people shape their opinions of you based on what they find online. So if content about you online is inaccurate, negative, or just doesn't exist, your reputation suffers. For most people, their Google results don't represent who they are or what they do, and they don't know what to do about it. So Brand Yourself gives them a platform to diagnose, build, and manage their entire online reputation from one central hub. We've developed a simple process to guide you through taking control of your Google results without any technical knowledge. First, we help you build the content and profiles that you want people to find when they search for you. Next, we show you how to optimize that content so that it shows up at the top of Google over negative or irrelevant results. Then we help you proactively promote your profiles and content using social media. We serve daily tips and recommendations of next steps to take, including articles to comment on based on your field, people to engage with who have mentioned you, and people to connect to on LinkedIn and Twitter based on their field and geographic location. As you grow your web presence and your professional network on Brand Yourself, we track your progress by showing you visually how Google results for your name are changing. We also track how your digital footprint, credibility, and influence grow over time. The dashboard it breaks down our process and grades your progress each step of the way. And on top of the dashboard is our reputation feed, which we're going to release in February, which will stream real-time updates, notifications, and recommendations in a daily digest. The whole system is going to be $99 to unlock, and then $9 a month to keep active.
Okay.
And so far, all right.
All right. So you did your pitch. I'm going to ask everybody in the chat room, everybody who is hearing my voice right now, you get to rate these pitches, and I would like you to do so with the pitch, 1 to 10, and the idea. And right now you're getting crushed. People are saying 1, 2, 4, 5, 3 on the pitch. I'm seeing 4, 5.5, 6 on the idea, 8 on the idea, 4 on the idea. So let me give you the good news. The good news is if you had to pick which number would be higher, it would be the idea, not the pitch, because you can improve the pitch a lot easier than you can improve the idea. But you didn't do so good according to the audience on the pitch, but they do like the idea. I actually think this is a decent idea, because I do get a lot of people who ask me, hey, Jason, I would like to remove something from the top 10 of Google when people say my name. I've had people in the past who we've written about on blogs, on Engadget or a TV Squad say, I would like to have this removed. Would you please remove it for me? On Mahalo, we will create Wikipedia topic-style pages on people in the news. And some of these people have done bad things, and they wind up emailing us and demanding we take down the page, which is an indication that people have no idea how to change their Google result and that their Google result does matter to them. In fact, I have inflicted a lot of pain on people like the Keiretsu Forum by putting Keiretsu Forum or Mike Scam Segal, these are scams, and used my PageRank, not on purpose, but just because I happen to have PageRank, I come up in the top 10 for their names. So you have found a pain point. I don't know that you've priced it correctly. $100 plus $120 a year sounds very expensive. And I'm not sure exactly what you provide to the people for that service. It seems like you provide them the ability to create a website. But let me ask Phil for his reaction before you start answering questions.
Well, full disclosure, I know Pete.
You know Pete.
Here's how I know Pete.
Okay.
I am on the board of advisors for Syracuse University.
Ah.
And I met Pete because he and his company came in and showed us a pitch, the board of advisors, of some stuff that Syracuse is helping.
You're on the board of advisors of a college?
Yeah.
Phil Kaplan is the board of advisors of Syracuse University?
Well, for
Did you go there?
Yeah, I went there.
Did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated from my school at Syracuse, which is the
And
I school
despite-
at Syracuse. It's the School of Information Studies. It's like
okay.
It's like there's business school and there's art school and then
Got it.
there's
So
art
are you
school.
on the board of the entire school or just that subsection?
Oh, just that subsection,
Okay,
but
good.
you know.
I want to get it clear.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
a big honor to be.
It's a college at Syracuse. yes.
This is still a big honor.
Oh, it's a huge honor. It's amazing.
Okay. Do they require you to make a huge donation to be on this?
No, they don't.
Interestingly enough.
I do support the school, but
That's
it's
good.
not a
It
requirement.
was an interesting one. I got asked to be on the board of a school, like similar kind of
Yeah.
a thing. And I was like, well, that's very interesting, and I'm very flattered. And they're like, yes, and it only requires a $30,000 donation a year.
yeah,
I was like,
that is not
Wait a
unusual.
second. This is like those things where you get like honored by this big organization,
Yeah,
and they're like, if you
yeah.
can sell 5 tables.
Yeah, that actually is a conversation within the actual board of advisors. Do we do something like that? We don't. I've been a member for 4 years. Anyway,
Okay,
we should get
so
back to Pete.
you know about this guy.
Yeah.
That's why he pitched. Probably knew you were going to be here. What do you think of the idea?
Well,
What do you think of his job?
First of all, in the
pitch
pitch, he
job?
never said the name of his company.
Which would be
Maybe
critical.
you did somewhere in the middle.
But it wasn't memorable.
But it was, and he didn't say it right off the top.
Right.
I think the pitch was a little stiff and frankly a little confusing.
Yes.
I think the idea has a ton of potential. I know, like you talked about how people are always asking you to take
Yes.
stuff down. When I was running effedcompany.com,
yes.
multiple times a day I would get people who asked me to remove stuff, and I always did. Well, unless you sent me like a really mean like legal letter, then I would probably like
Post that.
I would maybe remove the content and post a letter. But typically, if somebody just called and said, "Hey, can you take this down?" It's no big deal. I
Right.
took it down.
What was the worst thing somebody ever
Oh,
wrote?
God.
What was the worst thing that people wrote in the comments about somebody that actually turned out to be true?
Well, I had the I don't know, it turned out to be true. I had the Secret Service come to my door because somebody had a death threat against the president. They called me. I didn't believe them. They faxed me. I didn't believe them. They came to my door and they were like, "Get rid of this and tell us the IP address and stuff," which I didn't have. But
Wow.
I had I mean, there were all kinds of stuff. There was a guy who said he was going to kill himself, and he was posting on the site like pictures of, I mean, it's not to bring down the mood, but of like a razor blade and a bottle of whiskey, and he was drinking it, and the NYPD came to my house, and they tracked him down. Turned out he was an NYU student, and
he was actually thinking
and
about
he was actually doing it, like he was in his room, like drinking an entire bottle, and they foiled it. They like knocked on his door. He got checked into a mental
Just
hospital.
as a general rule of thumb, if you think of killing yourself, F Company is not the place to go for help. You can just go to the suicide hotline or something.
Yes,
This is
yes. We did
an
help,
interesting
though.
choice. But
We
you did
did
help despite that.
There's been a lot of interesting
All right,
stuff.
so you believe that there is a problem. I believe that there is a problem.
I think there's a problem.
There's a pain point.
Yeah. Does Pete have the solution? A few questions. One, so it was hard to tell exactly from that pitch. Now, I happen to know a little more about what the product
Right,
does because
so
this is
good.
my second time hearing the pitch. But from that pitch, it's hard to tell exactly what you do. So
Right.
it was like, do you teach me how to do it? You said you give me the tools. Now, does that mean that you're teaching me how to do it or you're doing it for me?
And it did feel a little like this could be a scam. Like I'll solve your, like
Yeah.
SEO
Well,
sound like
it's
a
an
scam.
SEO for people.
Yeah, so it's, whenever you get into that SEO space, we're going to get your rank back. We're going to change your rank. I think you have to be extra careful
Yeah.
to explain exactly what you're going to do and why you should do it with me because it feels like a scam.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
I don't
bit.
know if
I'm
I got
not
the,
saying this is
yeah,
a
I don't know
scam.
if I got the scam feeling as much.
I got a little bit.
But I got the confused, like I came out of it and I said, okay, I understand what the problem is. I don't exactly understand what your solution is. That's what I'd say.
Okay, good. And I'll ask the people in the chat room what they thought as well. People are wailing on you right now because the name of the company is Brand Dash Yourself. And if you put a dash in a domain name, how do I say it gently, Tyler?
Kind of like wearing sneakers to a funeral or has a...
There you go. It's a wonderful insight, Tyler.
Insight from Tyler.
You don't wear sneakers to a funeral. And if
I don't get that.
You don't need to get it. It's an insight. It's way over your head. Okay, listen, Tyler's insights are above your pay grade, Phil Kaplan. No offense.
That's
Or
probably
mine.
true.
If you wear sneakers to a funeral, people are going to look at you oddly.
Oh, yeah, no.
And they're going to think, I'll translate.
Yeah, no,
I
I
know
get it,
it's difficult for people.
It's hard.
But if you wear sneakers to a funeral, people are going to go, what is wrong with that guy? You're going to stand out. Nobody else is wearing sneakers to a funeral
Right.
because nobody in their right mind would ever wear sneakers to a funeral because it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
If you're going to a funeral, you're thinking, God, you wear black.
Wear nice shoes.
And you wear decent shoes. You don't wear flip-flops. You know what's good about the two-shot, actually? If we can see the two-shot. What do you guys see under the desk? Ah, look who's back. Anyway,
the dogs. I
Yeah,
thought you were
the
talking about
dogs are here.
My Adidas.
Anyway, over 600 people watching the show, of course. Phil Kaplan, big guest. So anyway, like sneakers at a funeral, a dash in your domain name makes you look odd. It makes you almost look like a scam. So now you got SEO as a part of what you're doing and a dash. That's 2 strikes. And then if you look at the branding of the site, you don't mind, Pete, if we lay into you a little bit, right? This is why you're calling in.
Of course.
Okay. So I'm looking at your website right now. I brought it up on the screen. You got a dash in your domain. You got a sort of an offering which feels like it could be SEO spammy. And the website is not terrible, but it doesn't scream trustworthy or anything like that. So I think the good news is there's a big opportunity here to clean this up. Maybe your best self. I think that's a Oprah thing, right? Living your best life. Maybe your best self, or maybe best foot forward kind of a thing. You could think about the metaphors around what you're trying to do and come up with a name that's more brandable, and a website and an offer and a way of making it look that is less spammy and that explains the value proposition a little bit better.
And typically, when you have a company name, and this is just historically on the internet, when you have a company name that's too descriptive about what you do, you don't stand out. So
That's right.
Evan Williams wrote a blog post in 2005 that I still remember,
Right.
where he said, how many RSS companies have the word feed in them? Right today, how many Twitter companies have the word twit in them? It's just you can't tell what are the differences between all these companies.
Right.
So maybe a more unique name.
Well, I
would
mean,
be
Hootsuite,
interesting.
which is an interesting product
Yeah,
that I've been using.
that you remember.
That you remember. It's like
Yeah.
hoot. Oh, I get it. It's an owl. Oh, and owls, and they
Yeah.
tweet, and they're somehow related to birds. I don't know. That's suggestive as opposed to explicit. So you have an explicit brand name with a dash in it. Bad.
Yeah.
Design, not so great. Product offering, that is needed. So you need to explain it. So I think you did a good job. I think you got your ass kicked, but I think you have the right idea. And that's really what it's about as an entrepreneur. Let me tell you something. If you did perfect execution and had a great domain name and you didn't solve a problem, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
So if you had to switch these things around, you would really want to have that you've solved a really serious problem, and you have a good solution for that, I think, which is making your own domain name. Is that correct, the solution?
Pete's still there?
Pete, you still there?
Yep.
Okay, so
Well, you'll be happy to know that we are launching a redesign in early February, which you'll
Good.
have to check out.
Okay, great. And so is the main point here that you're going to help people create their own web presence?
Exactly. Not just the website, but across social media.
So you're going to advise them on how to do this? Is that what you're doing? You're advising them?
It's a process. Part of it is advising with content to show them how to build their profiles. Part of it is pulling into Twitter and LinkedIn's APIs to show where they need to improve their profiles. Part of it is pulling in people that they can be networking with to build their professional network.
Okay.
It's basically automating everything possible in terms of marketing yourself using social media, and then creating a process that makes it really easy to understand how to do it yourself.
Do you have real before and after examples? Not just of here's what somebody looked like when you Googled them before and here's what they look like now, but somebody who could maybe say they were turned down for a job or something before and then they got a job after. I think for you and with any SEO type of company, really the proof is in the pudding. Like, can you make it happen or not? You know, can you get me on the front page? Can you get rid of all my crappy stuff? Do you have examples?
Do we have examples of users that have gone through?
Do you have examples of your success, that you've been able to do this successfully?
Check out brianbahuniak.com.
You're going to have to help me with
Yeah,
the spelling
yeah.
of that last name.
BRYANBEHUNIAK.com.
brianbahuniak.com.
And if you Google him, and he's got a pretty unique name, so I would imagine there's not many other people with that name. Does this page show up soon? Is that kind of the idea on the first page?
Well, here I got Brian Bahuniak. He's a marketing executive, and he's got his career synopsis, his accomplishments, his resume. So this is a nice little, kind of page. And I just did a search for him, and I see that his public profile on Plaxo, his LinkedIn, names, I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. Facebook, brand yourself, comes up, white pages, and my life. So is the idea here you helped him with Plaxo, LinkedIn, and the other sites?
You can see he's towards the bottom of the page now. He's begun his efforts, and we've got his bringing us up to the first page.
Good.
The real challenge would be if you could clean up my profile online.
Yeah,
that'd be
that's
awesome.
impossible.
That would make your servers overheat, I think.
Yeah. Who would be the most difficult person to fix their profile? If
Like
you could
Tiger Woods or
yeah,
something
how
like
about Tiger
that?
Woods? If you type in Tiger Woods, could Tiger
Who
Woods?
knows?
I wonder if you type in Tiger Woods top 10. Wow. Let's see. Wikipedia official site, TMZ. Yeah, no.
Oh, TMZ. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that TMZ out of there. And let's see. Yeah, you get the Vanity
That's an
Fair.
interesting pitch, actually. Take a celebrity who's had some problems, see if you can get your page on the front page, and then you got
Yeah.
a real thing. Hey,
Yeah.
we're on the front page of Tiger Woods. I mean, hard to do, but, somebody like that.
Yeah.
Elliot Spitzer.
All right, good enough.
Yeah.
And thank you for pitching, and we'll talk to you soon, Pete.